Welcome to the 10X Detail podcast, helping detailers 10X their business one show at a time. Today, we're talking to Jessie Garcia. How's it going, Jessie?
Good, Dave. How are you?
I'm doing awesome, just living the American dream. Tell us a little bit about your business and what you have going on over there. But before you do, Jesse's not a detailer. He just plays one on TV. But no.
That's right.
And he's he is a product guy. So he's gonna tell us all about products and how he makes money from that. All right, Jesse, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Appreciate it. Yeah, definitely. I am not a detailer on any professional sense. However, I've always had a passion for detailing cars and things like that. So what we wanted to do is have our own product, have a little bit of control over what we provide and how we market it to the car community. And that's where Pearl Nano came into play. You were one of the ones that just worked really well with us when we had this concept in our mind. Just didn't know where to start with it. And that was the beginning for us, and it's been doing great since then.
All right. And what is the name of your product and company, and where are you located?
Absolutely. So Detail Dude USA is our name. You could find us on detaildudeusa.com. And then on social media, it's at Detail Dude USA. And we are located in Folsom, which is about 30 miles east of Sacramento in California.
I know exactly where that is. My daughter lives there, and I grew up in Lodi, California.
Ah, okay. Neighbors.
Yes. So, all right. So you got Detail Dude USA. Is it Detail Dudes USA?
Just Dude, yeah.
Just Dude? Okay.
Dude.
Great.
Yep.
So let me just backtrack a little bit. You had an idea to private label car care products. You got a hold of my office. We hooked you up with Olivia and Hannah. We got you the labels. We got you the products. You're out there selling the products. Where are you selling them, and how is it going?
Great question. So yeah, absolutely. What we originally thought was let's get social. Obviously, that's where a lot of things are going. But how do we get it out to the folks in the street? Folsom and Sacramento is a big car community, so we thought let's check out local car shows and let's start there. And obviously, we were a little bit limited in 2020 due to COVID, so we kind of waited for things to kind of calm down a little bit and hit the road. And the results were phenomenal. I got to tell you, yes, we are selling online, and that's great. But as a car person myself, I like to feel and touch things before I buy. A lot of times, I'm old school. So at the car shows, we get the same effect, and a lot of folks were very responsive. Now, of course, it's all up to us on how we sell it and how we, do our customer service, and that's been doing really well for us.
Great. Tell us about the good, bad, and the ugly. You said maybe you've already done the good part, but what part isn't going well, and what could you tell people that are out there wanting their own private label product line? What didn't go well, and how they could keep from making the same mistake?
Very, very good point. I'm going to start with this, and this started from your office too, and I've always believed in this concept. Keep it simple. Start simple. Don't, it was one of the things when I called the office and Hannah was helping me. I just got excited. I love the concept. I've always been into cars. We've always had some cool cars in the garage, so I wanted everything. And she helped me back down to reality. Said, let's start simple. Let's start with maybe an interior cleaner, one or two exterior cleaners, a tire and rubber conditioner, and then see where it goes. And I really am glad that she looked at it that way versus here's an opportunity to just sell as much as I can to this dude that wants to start a company, right? So that was great for her to kind of bring me down to that level. And believe in your product, right? The ugly in this industry is there is a ton. I mean, you could just go to Amazon or Google and type in ceramic spray detail and see how many products come up. It's bittersweet. You're up against some big hitters out there. But if you believe in your product and you are passionate about it, and you're able to show them that not only this is your product, but you are a user of it, you will be successful.
Absolutely. And that's why our motto is, besides dare to be different, it's results matter. And, don't believe the hype. It does matter. It matters how it works. Does the customer, do they enjoy it? Is it easy to use? Is the price point in the right direction? You don't need 780 products. You don't need a tire stem polish and an antenna cleaner and a louver sealant. You just don't need all that crazy stuff. You just need products that work. And I'm glad that Hannah, talked you down from the ledge from, selling all the $10,000, $20,000 worth of products right out the gate, because you probably still have a garage full of stuff. And
Exactly.
so a lot of times people ask me the same question is, what do I get started with? And you brought up a good point there. And I've been talking about this quite a bit because we have over 500 new private label customers that we have them in various, 100 of them are like ready to go, but 200, 300, 400 of them are in various stages. So they asked me this question quite a bit. And one of the questions is, what do I get started with? And I just want to in case we were talking about this a couple years ago, this is what I would have told you. And that is, people care about how clean their car is, right? So, okay, you have in my realm, you have two ways of cleaning your car. With the Speed Coat waterless car wash, you can clean the car in the sun, in the shade, in the garage, dirty, clean, it doesn't matter. Or maybe you don't want to use that. You want to use soap and water. So that's where the power soap comes in. So now your car is clean, but you can't drive around a clean car in ugly tires, right?
Right.
So that's where the tire gel, and now we have the new Tire Shine. You got to do something with the tires. I use the tire gel with a paint tray and a 4-inch paint roller, and I roll it on. I roll it on the tires and wipe it and let it dry for 20 minutes. No sling. It looks amazing. But here's another question for you. When you're driving your car, can you see how clean it is?
All the time.
No, you can't while you're driving it, right?
Oh, well, I'm thinking about the hood that I'm looking at.
Well, yeah, so you can see, if you can see the hood, yes, some cars you can see it, some cars you can't. So, but you can see the inside. So I believe you got to have the interior detailer. I put it in a little paint tray or in a bowl, and I wipe it on with the applicator and then wipe it down with the towel, and it looks brand new, and it's a matte finish, and it's not greasy and nasty. So now you have a clean car outside, awesome tires, and a clean car inside. So that's the Speed Coat or soap. A lot of guys do both. And then there's the Tire Shine or the tire gel. And then you have the interior detailer. So now you have it inside of the car is now clean. So those are 4 products that's the first tier that I tell people that I recommend that they should go with. Either dial it down to just cleaning the car or cleaning in the tires, or all 3 or 4 and doing the interior as well. And then do another tier maybe next time. After you sell out of that, you reorder, and then you add the compound or the water spot killer or the metal X. So anyways, that's what I would have told you a couple years ago. Hopefully Hannah, did something in that realm, but it all seemed to work out. And what do you think about that?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct. Like some of my advertising says, the inside also matters, right? You're sitting in there, and you want to have a clean interior as you're driving your car. So absolutely agree. And keeping it simple with a few simple products is the best way to start. Absolutely. And that's exactly where she guided me to. And I'm glad she did. And one of the things that really attracted me to your company was simple, easy to use. A lot of times, in my car group, the folks that I hang out with, when they hear ceramic, especially if they're old school, when they hear ceramic, they think, oh, this is difficult. You need to hire someone to do it, and you need to pay thousands of dollars. And so, having something that's easy to use and to be introduced to ceramic SiO2 products, this is where your products really shine. For example, the ceramic sealant, and even just the simple spray detailer that's infused with SiO2. Those, I think, really help people understand that it's not so scary if it says ceramic. So super excited about that. One thing I did want to add, if you don't mind, Dave.
Sure, go ahead.
The ugly. Name, the names that you come up with, name creation for your product is critical. Take the time to get something that's catchy, that's attractive, and that really kind of shows who you are. Because I know one of them we had an idea that we envisioned. For example, the sealant, we called it "Keep It Simple, Keep It Super Shiny," which was KISS. So it said in bold letters KISS, and small letters it said "Keep It Super Shiny." Although the name wasn't really attractive for guys in the car community, and so that product kind of sat a little bit. And when I changed the name, which then I had to go out and spend a little bit more money with the relabeling and change it to Big Time Shine, the reaction was a lot more positive. So it's real. Naming is everything as well. Not only the product selection, but naming to be creative and to stand out.
Wow, that's a big difference. KISS to Big Time Shine. Is that what you said?
Yep.
Wow. So yes, I'm a web designer. I taught myself how to do web design in 1995, and I've been doing sales and marketing and lots of digital stuff over the couple years that's been. And I believe in websites and product names, and that should be very descriptive. You should be able to pick it up and just know what it is. Tire shine. There's just no way you don't know what that is. Speed coat. Maybe or power soap, those kind of things. I looked at a company the other day, and I could not figure out one of their products. They were so obscure, and they didn't have a little tagline below it. You literally had to get your glasses on and read the back to even know what it was. I didn't know if it was tire shine, if it was soap, or if it was Google juice. I had no idea. So to me, it's a total failure on that side. To have something that's just, even your website, privatelabelcarcare.com. I don't think there is, when Google came out, nobody knew what a Google was or a Yahoo or something. They do now, but back then they didn't. So you got to be very careful on how you name things. Okay, we're going to move to the next section of the podcast here, and that is, how do you increase sales and bring in more customers?
Great question. So for me, I think it's two-part, Dave. Obviously, social presence is important. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't hit it as much as I should. I do have a day job as well. But I noticed the more active you are on social media, the more response you have. And sales start to go up a little bit more. Now, when we're selling at car shows, it's all about presence, right? How does your space look like? Are you attracting folks? Do they know what you are? Because if they're walking by a ton of vendor tents, they're going to look at your advertising, and you need to capture them quickly so they know what you are doing out there. And so, we spent quite a bit in marketing with flags and ways to attract them to come to our tent, and then have some products out there that they can see and feel. Last year we had a truck, a black Silverado, my daily driver, by the way, and we had that right next to the tent because it's black and it's been treated with the spray sealant and maintained with the spray detailer, and it was perfect. So I can walk to it and show them how clean it is, how very little dust was sticking on it. And almost every person that walked up and we showed them how it worked walked away with product. And we were just fascinated on how effective having a car out there to show them in real time what these products can do was super effective for us.
I could definitely see that. Imagine, so I've been to a lot of car shows, and matter of fact, I used to go to Bugorama. I don't know if they still have that in Sacramento anymore. Do they still have that?
I remember. Don't think they do, but love that show.
I used to go to that all the time, and Cal Expo, we go to all the different car shows and stuff. But when you're at SEMA or you're at Mighty, which is happening this weekend, and you're at a booth and you're sitting there and people are walking by, I always want to go the other direction. What about if I was walking by? You literally have seconds, milliseconds. Every time you go by a booth, what is that booth selling or what are they doing? And if you have to sit there and go and stop and turn your head like a dog and go, I have no idea. I'm going, you already lost me. I'm going, I'm moving on. If you don't have a demonstration and you don't have somebody sitting there saying, hi, would you like to try this? A 30-second demonstration, boom, spray on, rub in, wipe off. Would you like some? No. Okay, great. Next one. And if I'm just walking by, it's, that thing where if we connect eyes, now I got to talk to you, right? So I'm going to be looking down. I'm going to go over here. But if I see something that I like and I can tell, car products. Oh, my car's dirty. Oh, wow. What are they doing? Oh, I can actually try some on the car there. Let's go over there and talk. But if it's just somebody standing there with a cheesy grin on his face and a bottle in his hand, you're running. You're like, I'm out of here. I'm going to the next guy. Is that right?
That's right. You nailed it. It's one of those things where you don't have to say, hey, we're selling detail products. Come over and take a look at it. Just make the connection. Hey, you guys enjoying the car show? My son was out there passing out, freebies to the kids, and that attracted the parents to come want to, see what we were selling. So it's just thinking outside the box and not just saying, can I help you? Or do you have any questions? That is not the way to go. That's not the best approach. The best approach is just open up any conversation and you'd be amazed what kind of response you get.
Yes. The last time at SEMA, I was testing out different ways because, you're standing there, people are walking by and you're trying to get their attention and it's uncomfortable, and, Grant Cardone of the 10X rule book, you gotta make yourself uncomfortable. Success is when you're uncomfortable. So be uncomfortable a lot and you'll have a lot more success. So,
you nailed it. It's really getting out of that comfort zone.
Yeah,
Don't be sitting on
I would see
chair.
I'd see people like looking at like either the demonstration that we had or something. And I would just kind of walk around and you're looking at it. And I'd just like be standing there like anybody else. I'm like, oh man, that looks pretty nice, doesn't it? Oh yeah, it does. I'm like, I wonder how they do that. Well, let me just tell you.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how we do that, spray on, rub in, and wipe off. And, it actually worked. It loosened them up a little bit and we were able to talk about stuff. And, sometimes they bought it, sometimes they didn't. It's that initial eye glance to getting them to come over and talk. There's a trust factor there. Is this guy a weirdo? Is he not? Do I really want car care products? What's car care products? I take my car to the car wash and they beat the crap out of it and I'm happy with that. So, it's shows are difficult, but if you have the right, like you said, the right signage, the right personality, you're dressed like an average person and you have someone to show, boom, they're all over that.
Absolutely.
Matter of fact, I had another guy call me just recently. Oh, I just remembered this just now. That he was at an electronics show and he's a marine guy, a boat guy, and he had this electronics. Yeah, he was at a boat show. I'm sorry. He was at a boat show. This electronics guy showed up, set up his booth, selling his electronics and stuff, but he pulled out some, boat products. And there was probably 60 or 70 bottles. And while he was talking about electronics, he would shift over and say, oh, you want to buy my spray wax for boats? And when he left, he had no bottles left. And that was how he did it. He had booked appointments and he had no bottles left. And it wasn't even about, so he did some other things other than his electronics is what my point was. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Really cool.
All right. Well, talking about, selling and revenue, we're going to go to a quick profit break, okay? Your new go-to ceramic coating is here. Pearl Nano Extreme version 2. We call it XV2. Super easy to apply, ultra slick, and extremely chemical resistant. This is not your typical ceramic coating. This is an extreme ceramic coating. To find out what all the fuss is about, send us an email, sales@pearlnano.com. Tell them that you heard about XV2 on this podcast and receive 20% off your first bottle. Pearl Nano, dare to be different. Yes, the XV2 is our most popular, best-selling ceramic coating ever. It's really rocking. But anyways, where were we? What type of marketing, referrals, ads, what do you use to get people besides the car shows?
Yeah, other than car shows, it's really just social media. We've kept it really simple. We do have other ideas that I do want to explore eventually, such as Amazon. That was next on our site. But it's one of those where, kind of have to find that happy medium for us. As I still have my day job and, my son is still in school. But that's really it. And word of mouth obviously is, the old school, way to go as well. There's a store down the street actually, that sells classic car memorabilia, and they found us on social media and said, "Hey, we want to sell your product in the store. Can you come by? Let's chat." And we connected, and he bought some product, and he said, "I'm already out. Let's talk about, how we can add this into, our membership over here. If folks join their membership, they also have a membership for classic car owners. Can they get a discount with Detail Dude products?" And I said, "Absolutely. Let's connect and build that relationship." We've also connected with a very popular car detailer out here in Folsom, Alpha Auto Works, and they do amazing work, and they are interested in partnering with us in a detail spray that they can provide to their customers to maintain the ceramic work that they do on some of the rides.
Excellent. All right. Well, have you thought about getting in the car with about as many bottles as you can put in there and just go into all the different shops, just like the one that you just talked about? There is hundreds of them in the Folsom, Sacramento metro area, and just walking and talking and handshaking. Have you done that yet?
No, that's a great idea, and it's one of those things where, again, it's once we have more availability, we can definitely do that. I think I think about this from my point of view is I like, instant gratification. Can I go to a store and pick it up and not have to pay shipping and then have to wait? So from that perspective, I want to do that for others. Have our product at certain stores and then advertise, hey, if you like our product and you're local, you can pick it up here. So I think that's an excellent idea, and that should be on our plan for the future. Absolutely.
Yes, I used to get that a lot. How can I pick up your product in Jacksonville, Florida? I'm like, you go online and we ship it to you. So yeah. That's about as close as I could get. But yeah, that's if you're a local company and you want to shop local, which I highly recommend, yes. And if you're not available to get it from you personally, here, go down the street to Classic Cars and pick up a bottle there, and then you can. Oh, they might even buy a classic car, and they will join the group. That's a great idea. I really like that. Definitely. Yeah. All right, so this section of the podcast is what I usually use to, go forward with the idea of constantly learning. So I'm always reading, taking online courses, listening to audiobooks, and the one that is the premise for this whole podcast is the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. I've listened to that book over 61 times. I've given away probably 250 copies of it. And have you read that book yet?
I have not, as a matter of fact.
How about, have you read any books lately?
Yeah, actually, I just turned 50 this week, and I'm reading more books on health and living a long and healthy life, to be honest with you.
I'm doing the same thing. So great. And which book was that?
What is the last one? I think it was Living Long or something like that. I'd have to take a look. Yeah, it's really just, reading as much as I can online and following certain folks that specialize in health and well living, things like that, which I think is important too, right?
It really is. And I want to have some future episodes here with some other detailers like Chris Lee and Shane Mayfield. If you ever seen these guys, I mean, they look like bouncers at the bar. I mean, they're big and in shape, and they push around the cars. They don't have the cars push them around. So so we're gonna have they don't even know this yet, but I'm gonna have some podcasts coming up here with these guys. How do they stay in shape, while they're doing all these things, and how do they eat right without, when you're working 10, 12 hours a day rubbing on a car. So that's one of my new podcast ideas. And
love it.
But back to the 10X rule, if you have not, if you have not read that book or listened to it, it's definitely the cornerstone of my bookshelf, along with Gary Vaynerchuk, Crush It, The 4-Hour Work Week by Timothy Ferriss, and all the Grant Cardone books, Sell or Be Sold, Closer's Guide to Something, and of course, the 10X rule, and be obsessed or be average. You want to be obsessed or you want to be average? Look at Elon Musk. Is that guy obsessed?
Absolutely.
Totally.
Matter of fact, I DJed for him when I was a DJ.
You did what?
I DJed an event, the car and driver event out in Mountain View, and he was there. This was before, a lot of he had the concept roadster and the sedan, but yeah, no, I definitely know exactly who he is.
Yes, anybody in history, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Thomas Jefferson, these guys were completely obsessed. And, Tesla and Edison, just if you're not completely obsessed, like hair on fire, can't sleep, got to make this going. And of course, everybody is different. And maybe I just had too much coffee or something, but we're only here a very short amount of time. Do it big, go big or go home. So, that's the way that I look at it. I have the 10X Detail podcast. My boat is named 10X. I'll be doing this whole sailing 10X thing here pretty soon. I'm just trying to 10X my life and help people like yourself 10X theirs at the same time. That's the whole point of this podcast. Again, you're selling products and to detailers, but we usually talk to auto detailers, and we're going to get into all kinds of different people, but normally auto detailers, and my job is to help them make money, because if they make more money, then maybe I'll make some more money somewhere if they buy my products or they buy somebody else's products. It all works out, and I'm here to help people and not take from people. So definitely. Okay, what do we got here? So how about some words of advice? Do you have any words of advice on somebody who also wanted to have their own product line? A lot of these guys just want to have a stack of products in the corner to where when they're done with the detail, they can also upsell to, well, how do I maintain my car? Well, glad you asked. We have some products right here. And now you upsell them another $100 worth of products that cost you maybe $20, and they walk away with a whole bunch of products. They're probably going to come back to you to get their car cleaned anyways. What kind of tips, tricks, ideas, words of wisdom do you have for those guys?
Yeah, so much there. Believe in what you want to do. Believe in your product. Believe in your idea. Start with a plan. Anything without a plan is difficult and challenging. But if you write down your plan, your ideas, the concept, who you want to sell to, who you want to target to, then it's easier for it to go from concept to reality. That's the biggest thing. Write down that plan. That was super helpful for us. We went back and forth on several things, but the plan was super helpful. And once you do have that reality, it's all about relationships, in my opinion. Relationships matter. When you're out there selling products at a car show, don't think of it as how many products can I sell, but more of how many relationships and how many people can I connect with. Even if it's not talking about the product, you've made that connection. And they'll remember you and say, oh, remember that guy from Detail Dude USA that I met over? I think that goes a lot farther than trying to sell one product, one bottle, is that relationship.
I totally agree. And I work with people that I met 20 years ago. I have customers, Roy Scioli and a couple other guys out there. When they hear this, they'll know what I'm talking about. They've been working with me since early 2000s. A long time. 20 years.
That is awesome. Love it.
Who has customers for 20 years?
Right.
He's been to my house and he just loves the product. And there's multiple guys out there like that. And there's guys that I had talked to 15 years ago that weren't ready to do what we do. And now they are, and they're going crazy. We have Shelly Roy and a couple other people out there that I haven't talked to in 10 years. And they're like, let's do this. So, you got to have that relationship. It's not like, oh, he hasn't called me in 10 years. I'm not talking to that guy. No way. It's all about relationships. And I used to have somebody in my family that would be like, just give them the product, get the money, and hang up the phone. I'm like, no, it don't work that way. Business is all about relationships. People buy from other people that they know, like, and trust. And that's how it is.
You're absolutely right. I think to us that's more important. It's not quantity, but more of quality. We want to have, less products, but high quality. Believe in what we sell, and then keep customers happy.
Hey Jesse, what does 10X mean to you?
Take it to that next level. That to me, that's what it is. Is you have a dream, believe it, and follow it. And take it as far as you can and be passionate about it. I
agree. So we are what we think about. And if you think about success, if you think about handing that guy the bottle of products and you collecting that money and you go and doing it over again, you talking to the classic car guy and doing it over again, these things create a dopamine rush. We move away from pain and towards pleasure. And that is what it's all about. But also it is what we think about. So if we think about business, if business is an EKG, but up and down, highs and lows. But if we're always thinking, you wake up in the morning, what am I going to do today? I'm going to do this, this, and this. You said the plan. So make a plan and then work the plan. That's what you have to do. So you know your numbers, work the plan, think about the plan, think about the numbers. And then don't do things at 1x, do things at 10x. Okay, but maybe you didn't hit 10x. Okay, maybe you made 10 grand last year. This year you want to make 100 grand, 10x, but you only made 50 grand. It sure beats 10 grand. So, but the way that your mind works, your mind doesn't know what 10 is. I mean, they know it's a whole bunch more. So let's do a whole bunch more and see where it lands. If you think, oh, I'm only going to do 1x, and you made it a 0.5x, well, that's not doing pretty good. Your mind believes whatever you tell it, and a lot of times it can't tell the difference between reality and what you're just telling yourself. So that's where it's all about the 10x mindset. You think 10 times as big. I'm going to make $1 billion. So if you only made 500 million, I don't think anybody's complaining. So, and another thing, I have, a 17-year-old and a 19-year-old, and I want to talk about this in a future podcast, but Richard Cooper is a well-known author and podcaster out there. He talks about your job, especially as a young person, is to create excellence in yourself. You should don't worry about girls, don't worry about video games, don't worry about TV, gossip, all that BS stuff. Worry about excellence, meaning worry about how are you supposed to make that money when you're young? Obviously, when you're 19, the 19-year-old girls aren't looking at you. They're looking at the 30-year-olds. But when you turn 30, you'll be with the 19-year-olds. So it all works out in the way. And that's a whole nother podcast issue. So striving for excellence in everything you do. Build your business, build your body, build your mind. I have a 17-year-old that is doing exactly as I asked him to do, and he's seen all these things happen in my business life, and he made $177,000 last year on his eBay business.
Amazing. Love that.
After fees, shipping, and other things, he made $103,000 as a 17-year-old going to college while he should be doing high school. So it is and he thinks about this stuff all the time. So that's my whole point is think big, don't think small. As Jim Rohn said, major in major things, don't major in minor things. And I do tell myself that quite a bit. Am I majoring in minor things? Don't do that. So let's go that direction. All right. We killed the 10X mindset there. How do we find you online? Facebook, Instagram, website?
Yeah. All right. So our website is detaileddudeusa.com. You'll find our products there and how to reach us. And then on social media, it's at detaileddudeusa.
Great. Awesome. All right. So if you like today's show, please share it with others and on social media. If you want to be on the show, go over to callingalldetailers.com. There's a section of text there right on the front page, and it says secure your spot. Click on that link and get on my calendar. And thank you, Jessie, for being on the show and sharing your experiences and where you're going. It's a totally different take on our normal podcast episodes. Just remember to keep learning, keep growing, and keep 10Xing it. And we're going to see you on the next episode of the 10X Detail podcast. My name is David Elliott from Pearl Nano and Calling All Detailers. All right, Jessie. Thanks for being on the show, and we'll talk with you soon, okay?
Appreciate it. Happy New Year. Thanks for everything.
All right. Thank you so much. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.